1993, about 3 miles north of here on Highway 41, doing what every Georgia Tech student would do on a Saturday afternoon. I was visiting CompUSA in the Circuit City that used to be up there. I was with a buddy of mine named Hank Rourke. And Hank always was about 2 or 3 years ahead of me on every bit of technology. And he described Mosaic, he described the World Wide Web, and this network of interconnected web pages that all link together with hypertext. And I remember exactly where I was when I heard about that, because it sounded so incredibly powerful. And I didn't even have the true vision of what it was. I didn't know that it was going to power pretty much every part of our daily life and existence, but I knew it was important. When I hear about IoT, I get the same exact feeling. The fact that we're able to produce food more effectively by better using one of our most precious resources, which is water. The fact that we're able to deliver product before it spoils to people that need food. The fact that we're able to track furniture that we're delivering to our customers. The fact that we're able to do all these things and do them in a way that is just natural to the way that we interact with the items without doing anything special associated with it. And that is the power that I see. I learned so much today, but learning is a very small part of what we need to do. As our responsibility of being technology leaders, we need to leave here with the knowledge that we gain, but we need to use that knowledge and put it into action. We need to make sure that we talk about IoT, continue the conversation with hashtag IoT Georgia, continue the conversation about what it means to our businesses, and make it truly a place where Georgia leads in the same way that we lead with telecommunications and health IT and financial and security. Make IoT be that exact same centerpiece to what we do. So that's the call to action. I'm now going to turn it over to somebody who played an instrumental part in making all this happen, and that's Walt Carter.
Thank you, John. Thank you, sir. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you, committed few, for hanging in here all the way to the end. Obviously, this is an important topic for many of us, and certainly the representation here at the end of a long day, as they said, drinking from a fire hose of IoT. It's really impressive to see the large number of you that are here, and there is a reward. There's actually going to be adult beverages available for some of us, adults only. I'm looking around. I think most everybody qualifies. I think we're good. The call to action, I think, is a very interesting part of this. Our goal in beginning this drive for IoT Georgia was really to start to demonstrate not thought leadership, but executional leadership. The ability to do things with the data, the ability to monetize those connections, the ability to actually drive through connecting, collaborating, doing the things that the IoT really represents in a way that we can only do it here in Georgia, right? And maybe I'll just go a little further. A lot of people talk about, and have been for years, IoT, IoT, IoT. Today, most of us walked into this room still going, I don't think I understand what that means. I don't understand what my implications are of IoT. I think we've got a much better idea at the end of the day, but this is just a launching pad. Today's drive was really to just say, let's do something a little different from all of those other folks and places that have been talking about it. Let's start to share the information. You saw a lot of that today. We shared a lot of information about what people are already doing with IoT. We shared a lot about the importance of having a strategy for how you move forward with IoT. But now we've got to do the hardest work of all, which is connecting human beings to human beings. And that's the part that TAG has played as bringing this event together. The societies that came together to say, look, we're all doing IoT events for most of the year. Wouldn't it make sense for us to all pull together and do one large launch pad type of event? And maybe we should do this every year for the next 5 years. So today's event is just one of the next several years that we intend to pull off. This one was larger than we thought it was going to be. And it was very successful in terms of connecting into the idea, the framework. We had some great speakers early this morning. I thought the framework, things to outcomes, that was great. I thought Daryl Plummer rocked with regard to, but it's more than just that. It's about transcending the physical and the virtual and making sure that we understand those things. We had a great educational panel. Well, I won't say it was great. I was a participant. I should back off from that. I was very impressed with my panelists, though. I will tell you that, because they're thinking about the workforce and what we're going to need to produce in order to connect all these dots. When we got to the infrastructure panel, John Martin and his crew did a great job of talking about the need for standards and how this can work and we can start to connect. You heard a lot of conversation about platforms, horizontal and vertical. Oh my goodness, this is hard. What we're talking about doing is difficult. And that means it's going to take energy and it's going to take that human connection. So the call to action really is to say, go out to Twitter if you're a Twitter person and tweet. And say, count me in. Hashtag count me in IoT Georgia. And let's get a community started today where we can start to build together. There will be what we call a post-mortem on the event. There will be several groups, working groups that we've defined around the major components: strategy, infrastructure, education. And we're going to be calling out for most likely the people that are still in the room right now to come and help us, right? Because you guys stood in the gap all day with us, and clearly it's interesting to you. If you would like to participate in a much more robust way, there's a lot of opportunity, because next year's event is going to be even bigger. Next year's sponsors are going to have a lot more great stories to tell about what they're doing with their customers, and we locally are going to have a lot more stories to tell about what we're doing to make Georgia the center of IoT. Does that make sense? You guys with me? Count me in. IoT Georgia? All right. I gave Tino short shrift this morning in my first introduction, and so let me just express my public love for Tino Mantella, and what a great job he's done leading TAG to be the largest technology association of its kind, and what great benefit we get. You've heard the theme earlier today. We connect better here in Georgia, human to human, executive to executive, CIO to CIO, in ways that no other part of the geography of this planet does. And I think some of that has to be attributed to Tino's leadership over the last several years of the Technology Association of Georgia. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Tino Mantella.
Thanks, Walt. I like that a lot better than this morning. No, just kidding. You guys did all the work, Walt, and the group that's been involved with this. And it's, I said last night, it was really great to see a group of people come together and say, we want to make this happen. And a lot of times people say that, but then nothing happens or it falls back on the staff role. Now, we certainly had great staff supporting this event, but the volunteers drove the heck out of it, which is great. One of the interesting things that I just wanted to mention is in the other areas where Georgia leads, FinTech, Health IT, and security, these groups have all been mobilized and are doing what Walt and John are the call to action for all of you. And it's working because we can all do projects on Internet of Things independently for our companies, but to make Atlanta the center of that, which I think is a win-win because it comes back to all of us in terms of building the business here, that requires group activity and people participating beyond the independence of your own company. So with that, I wanted to give a special recognition to the person that was the key driver of this. You always need somebody, I think, in that leadership position saying, we need to make this happen. And I don't think, I don't know where Amanda is right this second, but I think we'd say that there's probably never been as many meetings planning an event as in the 12 years that I've been at TAG than this particular event. I mean, it was constant, it was passionate, and it took a person to take the leadership role, and I'd like to ask Todd Penaguai to come up here with me and get recognition. Well deserved, well deserved. So we have a plaque for you here, Todd. It says, in recognition and appreciation of your leadership for the 2016 IoT Symposium, the Technology Association of Georgia, July 19th, 2016.
Thank you.
All right, and we have... Walt said that there's the virtual and then the, the internet here. So the virtual and the physical. So we thought we'd give you something physical and we can somehow try to convert it into, I guess, the virtual. You might not have an idea how to do this. We understand you enjoy Scotch and...
Yum.
So a little something extra for you.
Thank you.
And be careful because if you tip it upside down, it's great. So if you want to say a couple words.
I understand there's beer out there. I've got Scotch. No. I'm humbled by the number of people that volunteer to help out with this. I mean, I'm an average guy at best, and there's I'll try to remember a few names. Bentley Long, if you're here, respect. Right? Nancy Thompson, John Trainer, Walt Carter, Serena Sachs, Tim Eck, Tim, what's your last name? I'm tired. All the volunteers, just please stand up. I know there's a lot here. Jake Counts, Bob Wright, Dan Foster. Anyway, this couldn't have happened without them, for sure. And also, Amanda, I apologize. I abused her, as well as Mary. We abused you too. Thank you so much. And Tina, thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right, yes indeed, it is time for the cocktail reception. So I'm Stuart Swanson with Cisco. I was actually with Jasper up until 3 months ago. Jasper is a company with a large facility here in Alpharetta, but based out of Silicon Valley, and we were just acquired in a $1.4 billion acquisition by Cisco, and we're now forming the IoT Software Cloud Solution Group inside Cisco. So we're proud to do that. Very proud to hear a lot of the customers that presented today actually use our platform and solution, and we're just glad to be here. But most importantly, we're glad to be in the Atlanta community. We want to be very involved and are involved with TAG. But we just want to thank you for your attendance, and we're glad to host the cocktail hour. So please enjoy. Video.